Oh, that's a bright screen back there. Hi, this is Laurie.
This is Peter.
And we're with Colin's Cousins movie reviews and reactions. I think I renamed our channel.
I think it's a
Colin's
good,
Cousin, Colin's Cousin. I spelled it cousin.
Yeah. I think that did it.
I think that did it. That worked. Yeah. We're here with a review. This time of Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Which came out earlier this year. We finally got around to watching it.
Yes.
And it's this is a science fiction movie directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, starring Ryan Gosling and some other people.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think it's just a science fiction movie.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get into it, huh? So it's a science teacher wakes up on a spaceship with amnesia and must save Earth from a sun-dimming organism. Okay. And some other stuff happens, too.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Project Hail Mary. You know, I said directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who I was familiar with from the Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse movies.
Yes.
They were supposed to direct the Star Wars Han Solo movie, but they got fired from that project.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Like halfway through. And they probably should have left him on that one. And another thing I want to point out, I mean, this is based on a novel by Andy Weir, who wrote The Martian. Did you ever see it? We've seen The Martian, right?
The Martian.
With Matt Damon. He's stuck on Mars.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a good movie. And the screenplay was done by Drew Goddard, who is a writer-director I really like. He's done a bunch of other stuff that I like. So anyway, let's get into Project Hail Mary.
Well, I tell you, I was wondering, is this going to be a football movie?
Yes, it's about Doug.
Doug Williams.
No, not Doug Williams, the other one. He was known famously 40-something years ago for throwing a Hail Mary in a college football game.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of he played briefly in the NFL, but didn't have quite the career. Anyway, that's a really old reference.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Project Hail Mary?
I actually loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah.
We watched it twice. Well,
yeah.
I watched it 1.5 times.
I really, really am into science fiction.
Yeah. Me too.
But I never thought this was science fiction.
Okay.
It seemed more like science fact to me.
Okay. Well, that's one of the things. I mean, I kind of take for granted, a lot of science fiction movies are really sciencey, and the science doesn't really. There's really not much science to it, but it seems plausible for a non-scientific mind. So I just assumed this movie was this way.
Yeah.
Until I saw an interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson and Andy Weir, who wrote the book, and that dude's into science. Yes. He's into like real science and kind of using it in plausible ways.
Yes.
Having the real science be a factor in his stories. So I was impressed with that.
Yeah, and there's so much from beginning to end.
So I had to revisit because
beginning again.
Yeah, because of that, I had to revisit this movie. I only got to do a half watch because I wanted to love this movie more than I actually did. Considering the pedigree,
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping, and I heard some good buzz, and I just it didn't. I had certain expectations of what it was going to be like. And it ended up being not those things, which is not a bad thing. That's actually the good thing. But it kind of threw me.
Well, it actually hit all my veins for me.
Did it pull any of your heartstrings too? It pulled your vein strings.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, I still, even the half I watched, I enjoyed it a little more, and kind of like taking in without my expectations, because there's so many movies that have come out where the sun is dying. We have to
Yeah.
do this suicide mission to the sun to do something sciency there and save the world.
Yeah, but I thought
And
this was really smart.
yeah, it is a very smart movie.
It's
So is
very
but like
smart.
my favorite version of that story was the movie Sunshine, which is
Mhm.
great up to a certain point, and then it kind of gets a little at the end, kind of like
It
doesn't
falls
quite land the
apart.
ending.
Yeah.
So comparing it to that, and Sunshine's a more serious movie
Exactly.
and more about
Yet the science
studying these people stuck in a
doesn't
situation, but this one is more of about kind of a hopeful and about and what people have pointed out when I've like looked at other people's reviews, which I usually don't like to do, but I'm glad I
Mhm.
did. They pointed this is about collaboration and teamwork
Yes, it
and
is.
using and science and how you keep trying and you might fail, but you keep going until you find the truth and the answer, the fact. And
Yeah, but it seemed
that's
like
how you save.
yeah, but it seems like everything was lined up for one thing, and they completely
Yeah,
turned
well,
it
I
in a
think
different
the
direction.
hero of this, which is Ryan Gosling, is not and this is another review pointed out, is not your typical hero.
Mhm.
He's not the usually the sciencey guy he's a side character that gives the hero the answer and then the hero goes in and saves it last minute. Not no this one the scientist actually saved it last
Yeah,
minute.
he saved it last minute.
It's just me buying Ryan Gosling as a scientist. And it's not he. I mean, the acting was fine. It's just considering his character, he's just too good looking for me to believe he would not be in a relationship back on Earth unless there was some kind of personality. I could understand it if maybe there was some kind of personality trait of his that made him kind of an isolated.
But the
Other
thing
than
is, I definitely get that.
okay,
Um, and that's uh no, it's
I
not a
mean
spoiler
they kind
alert,
of
but
like make him.
when you find out exactly what's going on, yeah, he's put that barrier between that.
Yeah, well, yeah, there are certain things where he doesn't want to put himself kind of out in the world because he's gotten
Yes.
smacked down once in terms
Yes.
of his scientific um
Beliefs and what
yeah, his
that taught
scientific
him.
principles. So but it's just they make him he's this kind of I call him he's like a manic pixie girl. And this he's charming but tripping over stuff, like he's like a rom-com female. He's kind of, he's a little disheveled in a charming, attractive sort of way. And
Yeah, but
I
I also found that he had in his science and as who he was, because I don't know how many of you know it, but there was a study done to whereas a lot of men who were in important projects or studying certain things, companies have actually hired them out of school before they graduate because they don't want them to learn what you can't do, what you can't do.
yeah, they don't okay, they don't want you to
Everything is
know that
possible.
right. Yeah. You want to be taught like the science of something that's like, okay, we've already proven this is how this works. If you don't know that, you might figure out a new thing.
Yeah,
If you not always have that set mindset.
yeah, and they take you out before you learn what you can't do.
Okay. Well, I was just I'm just commenting on the casting, and it's just like, I mean, Ryan Gosling is fantastic, and he's great in this movie. He's charming and everything. It's just for me, he also kind of took me out of it because, and this is like my own, like maybe my own prejudice. He's too good looking for me to think he's that that clumsy, that clumsily smart, sciencey dude. And
Yeah,
maybe because I'm thinking of stereotypical. Let me fix this Dutch angle on this thing. Okay, it's driving me crazy. That that I have a prejudice against good-looking people being smart and kind of awkward and clumsy.
yeah, but you know what? I didn't find him awkward. I didn't find him clumsy. Uh, I do believe
You know
he's
what?
actually good looking,
Yeah, he is. He's a
but
freaking movie star.
but he's good looking in a very normal, or even which is you
He's
might want to
like
get me
an
on this.
average guy,
Yeah,
good looking.
he's average looking, but he's above average looking.
That is kind of how it is. I mean, I love Ryan Gosling. I don't mind. I will just, he's kind of one of those guys, like, I can trust a movie he's in because he has a knack for picking really interesting stories and characters to portray in films. He's not the one who's going for the big blockbuster movie career, but he's getting it anyway. If you look at it, I mean, I had to look up. It's like, has he been in a superhero movie? And he hasn't.
No,
I mean, he's been in talks for one reason, but like how many? The Marvel universe has not snapped up Ryan Gosling. That's pretty interesting. So he's not going for, and I think he's more interested in playing characters that are, yeah, I think, yeah. Anyway, getting back to this movie, yeah, otherwise I enjoyed it. It's they do have a character, and we have Rocky, who is the alien character he comes in contact with, and they end up working together. So this movie reminded me a lot of E.T., which you've never seen, which is like, holy crap, you've never seen E.T., and which is a classic movie. It's not one of my favorite Spielberg movies, and it's not one that I haven't watched it in decades, but it is a very good movie. So this E.T. meets Interstellar meets The Martian.
and I guess it's just because of what I think of E.T. Haven't seen it, just heard about it, and I don't think they're even close.
No, well, there's a cutesiness to this movie too, and there's also the Lord and Miller humor, which I enjoyed, but sometimes it took me out of, like, there's not not enough gravity in this movie. Not the kind of gravity that there is in this movie, because there's gravity in this movie. But
Yeah,
I'm
there's
trying,
gravity.
like, the emotional gravity, I think it gets minimized to the jokes and kind of the cutesiness of the banter between him and the character. Like, I'll take this and compare it to The Martian, which was directed by Ridley Scott. And so same author, concepts, a little similar. It's kind of stranded out in space somewhere, but he didn't have the cutesy character. The cutesy.
Yeah, but
But Ridley Scott is a kind of director who's going to bring a little more serious undertone. I mean, there's humor in The Martian as well, but there's going to be a seriousness to the situation and what's happening.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be a little more
very
gripping.
serious.
And I mean, at times, this movie does have some gripping moments as well. But I think it gets kind of. I think that some of the humor and that kind of gets undercut. And I think that's why I was like expecting a little. That's what I was expecting, is more from this movie, and maybe that's who needs that right now. It's kind of like to have this is a very positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the idea that it's about collaboration. It's about teamwork. It's about working together. It's about science and thinking and studying and doing the work to prove.
I think the ending really hit it.
Yeah. I mean, the ending is great. The kind of the set piece that it's very suspenseful, edge of your seat. The film looks great. There's a graininess to this, and I wonder if they filmed it on regular film. I know they used a lot of practical things, like the little alien characters done by puppet. And I'm sure they used probably a lot of models and built practical sets, and maybe left the CGI to kind of like the space stuff and. Hmm? Practical sets. Yeah, like they made tactile, like the tactile looking um control panels and things like that in the spaceship.
Yeah, I
And
love practical sets.
yeah, I love them in movies too. So, and this I did not think of. I did not once think it's like, oh, that looks like CGI.
Right.
It did not. That did not take me out. I kept into the story.
Right.
And it's like this movie looks really good, and this is and everything. But I wonder if they filmed it on film because there was a certain graininess to it. I noticed as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to look that up.
what I like best about it?
What?
I'm a pilot.
No,
I'm not a pilot.
When he got in that seat,
Yeah.
they're just there. They're like, no, yeah. So, any other things you want to? Any other thoughts about this movie that you haven't entertained?
I think they set it up for a love story in one place, and they totally turned around.
It looked like it could be going for that. And then I wanted to shout out the name of the actress. She was in a movie I've been wanting to watch. Now I can't think of it. Anatomy of a Fall, which I had a lot of buzz a couple years ago. And her name is, if I can find it just a minute, but yeah, the actress who she's in charge of the project, the whole, she's kind of the head of the Sandra Huller or Hewler or Huller. I'm not sure what the umlauts make it sound like.
Right.
But yeah, and there is that. It looks like it could be going in that direction, and there's kind of a surprise. There is a little bit of a twist.
Oh yeah.
Of what happens to Ryan Gosling's character, whose name is Dr. Grace, which I like that,
Yes.
in terms. But at the same time, I have to like wrestle with his decision. It's like, what I buy, and it's like could be just my own bias because he's a movie star. He plays the typical square jaw hero looking guy, and I'm used to that character. Always like, yes, I will do this for humanity.
Yeah, but you know what? Just from what you said.
Yeah, that's my own bias.
That good-looking square jaw
guy.
What
Hollywood has trained my mind to think that way.
Well, maybe it's because of teachers that I've had.
Uh-huh.
I've had that teacher before.
That good-looking teacher like that?
Yeah. He was female. But
well, I don't recall. No. I had a good-looking female teacher, yeah, but I can't think of any guy that was. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so I enjoyed this movie. I liked it. I wanted to love it. I didn't quite love it, and that's why I wanted to do a rewatch. I didn't get to do a full rewatch, but I still don't. I feel kind of a little bit of a disconnect from this because, like I said, it doesn't have that kind of gravity. I think the like I call gravitas. I like to use. As much gravitas as I'd like it to have, considering we're talking about the possible extinction of humankind and part of the galaxy.
Yeah, I got
threatened by these elements.
I got it towards his
parts of the movies where I do feel it, but
I was just like, this is it.
This is it.
This guy.
Yeah, it's like, would he make that decision if he were to? I mean, I give it the point that he had 3 hours to make that decision. And he is his character consistently in the movie is not the kind of person
Yeah.
who wants to take that kind of risk, would take that kind of risk, or take risks in certain ways like that.
Yes, but
So,
he
that's
knew
what I'm
who he
saying.
was.
Like Hollywood has conditioned me to think, the handsome movie star guy, of course, is going to make that decision. Anyway, so any final thoughts on Project Hail Mary?
I love this movie. An 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes to 11. These go to 11. I really enjoyed this movie. I just wish it just felt a little. I just wish it went a little deeper. It
I
kind of.
don't know how it could go deeper.
It wasn't. It just like I said. I think the humor and
Oh,
just
okay.
kind of like upended some of the yeah. But it's kind of it's more. It feels like a more lighthearted. Uh, possible apocalypse movie.
Okay. Well, I was
the
totally
world
with,
might be a lighthearted. The world might be coming to an end movie.
well, I was totally with the world coming to the end. I was like this the whole time.
Not the whole time, but I was gripping my seat for several
Yeah.
scenes. They do have it is an effective movie in that way. I do like how the ending. I was hoping they weren't going to do the trope of the alien sacrificing himself for the
Mhm.
human. And like you said, it looks like it's going to go in one direction, and not to spoil anything, and it doesn't necessarily end up that way.
It doesn't.
And I appreciate
There's so
those
many
turns.
twists that when you think it's going one way,
Mm-hmm.
it twists another,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as it does that, it twists again.
Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely check this movie out. A lot of people love it and saying it's like one of their favorite movies ever. I'm not feeling that, but I did really enjoy it. And let us know what you think in the comments if you've seen Project Hail Mary. Am I an outlier? I have yet. I'm gonna get excited to go look for other people's comments to see if anybody kind of sees what I see. But so far, the ones I've heard, everybody's like, "I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies."
Yeah, I'm gonna see if Stallback goes back and throws a long one.
Doug Flutie, that's the dude.
No, the first Hail Mary
was Roger Staubach.
Okay,
but I'm thinking of Doug Flutie, who was the famous Hail Mary in college.
Yeah, and he had a cereal.
He had a Flutie cereal?
Yeah.
Flutie Loops?
Yeah.
All right, we're out.
We're out.
Have a happy 4th of July, y'all. It's 4th of July, and it's surprisingly quiet right now. It ain't dark, though.
It ain't dark.
It's about to blow up. Happy 250th anniversary, America. We love you, even if we don't love a lot of stuff that's going on right now.
Yes.
I still love America. And I'm loving the World Cup, loving America. Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
And I do not like soccer, but I love the World Cup.
I've been wanting to watch more of it.
Well, that's what I've been
World Cup,
doing.
yeah. I'm becoming I don't know if I'm a fan, but appreciator. Anyway, we out.
We out.